Watch, drones, watch!
You're going to die! You're going to die! You're going to...
Well, good evening, drones. Today's film we're going to be covering is Smile. And as someone who has a permanent grin affixed to their face, I felt like I had to cover this one, drones. I had to cover it. So this movie's directed by first-time director Parker Finn, and it's starring Sosie Bacon, Kevin Bacon's daughter, and she does a fantastic job with this. I really expected this movie to be a cookie-cutter corporate horror movie, and in certain ways it was, but I was very, very surprised at how high quality this thing was. This was a very, very high quality movie. I mean, yes, it has a lot of jump scares, and it relies heavily on jump scares, but the jump scares were extremely well executed, drones. I highly recommend that you see this with a full group of drones in the theater, a full room of scared drones. You really got to have a full theater experience with this one, all right? Go see it in the movie theater. You got it? The main plot of this movie, and this is no spoilers, the main plot of this movie is Sosie Bacon plays a therapist who watches one of her patients commit suicide in front of her, and from there is haunted by a smiling entity, I guess you could say, and she is plagued by seeing visions of smiling people all around her. And that's as much as I'm going to say about the plot, but this movie does get deeper with its themes as it goes on, and I really, really respected that about the movie. I didn't expect it to be such a deep movie. There's a lot to be said about mental illness in this film. There's a lot to be said about trauma and how that passes on from person to person. There's also, a lot to be said about the company you keep. I think the film tries to make a statement about the people that the main character chooses to surround herself with, which is very interesting. The sound design was excellent. The soundtrack was very unnerving. I never felt relaxed in the theater, which is a good thing when I'm watching a horror film. I was on the edge of my seat, and all the drones in the theaters with me were just like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Oh my God, this is fine. I think one of my only critiques with this is, it is a little bit derivative. It really does borrow heavily from It Follows, if any of you guys are familiar with that movie. The curse in this movie is very similar to the curse in It Follows. Granted, it's a different curse, of course, but it's very, very similar in that regard. Like I said, I think the jump scares were extremely effective and well made, but the film does rely quite a bit on jump scares, so I'm curious as to how this film will play watching it a second time. The thing I like about this film is it gets darker and darker and bleaker as it goes on, and something that's really cool about it is the editing reflects that as the main character becomes more and more sort of unnerved, it really, really tries to get into the main character's headspace, and it does that with all the aesthetics, with the sound design, with the editing. So yeah, Sosie Bacon, like I mentioned, was really amazing in this movie. I think she really, really did a great job of being someone you're rooting for, being someone that is struggling mentally, and also being someone that is plagued with this curse and no one believes her. Her character changes throughout the movie, and I think she does a really good job exhibiting those changes. I do wish that the supporting performances were better, and I do wish that the characters were a little bit more fleshed out. Besides for Sosie Bacon's character, Rose, I really didn't care about any of these characters. They were all kind of just throwaways, with the exception of the ex-boyfriend character, who did a really good job as well. So, as you can tell, this film was quite effective for me. It
put a smile on my face.
I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10, drones. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. At first I thought 7.5, but you know what? 8 out of 10. Very, very impressed with this. Exceeded my expectations, especially for a studio horror movie. I think all you drones are going to enjoy it. I think you should all flock to the theater and munch on some popcorn and eat some gummies and, put a smile on that face with all your friends. Oh, let's go see Smile. I heard it's like the horror film of the year. Oh my goodness. Spend all our money and watch shit till we're fucking dead. So yeah, that's what you drones are going to do. That's what you're good at. You're good at consuming, and that's all you're going to fucking do. Go see it. Call up all your drone friends. Oh my god, it's spooky season. Let's go see a spooky film. Let's go see Smile. It might make us smile. Watch drones fly!